Grand Rising. Happy Thursday. I hope everybody's having a peaceful and positive start to your day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that today. I also pray that He clothes us in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. Um, Let me check real quick. I don't know why I haven't been able to remember lately. Today is Thursday, February 26th, 2026. And something that I just found out this morning or was made aware of, or however you want to say it, we're going to have another Friday the 13th in March, just like we did in in February. I almost said April. All right, let's start out with our daily scripture. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not unto temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Ashe. It rained overnight in my area, so it's a very damp, dreary start to the day. Wherever you're at, whatever kind of weather you're having, I hope you don't let it, or I hope you still have a positive day. I shouldn't say. I hope you still have a positive day. Proverbs 31:31 and 1 Peter 3:4. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. You should clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God. Clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. Proverbs 31:31 is what was on top, so that's what we'll read from the book, but we will still look up the other one to see if it's the same. So that would be 1 Peter 3:4. It's just quicker to go to the book. 1 Peter 3:61 of the New Testament. I feel like we were in this area the other day. 3:4. Yeah, it's not exactly the same. But let it be the hidden man of the heart. We were just here the other day. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price. We were just here the other day. All right, and then Proverbs 31. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. So, not exactly the same either. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. That is actually the last verse of Proverbs 31. Yeah, it hasn't been that long since we read that either, because we ended up reading the whole scripture. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. Verse 26, that's where we were last time. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Kindness to yourself, kindness to others, especially if you line it up. You should clothe yourself instead with the beauty that comes from within. The love, the kindness, the empathy. All right, let's get our morning mantra. Hi there, Grand Rising. Happy Thursday. I hope you're having a peaceful and positive start to your day today. I'm doing well, thank you. I've had a positive start to the day so far. I told myself last night before I went to bed that I was going to wake up and have a good day today. I don't have to work today, so, I really want to make the most of the day, and sometimes we kind of have to hype ourselves up for that. All right, even storms have a calm center. Today, if chaos rises up around me, I will be the eye. Huh. Is that why it's called that? The eye of the storm. The calm within the storm. Finding peace amongst the chaos. Sometimes that's easier said than done. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, let's get our grief affirmation for the day. Though my grief is painful, it is a natural, necessary, and healthy response to my wounds. I can learn to work with these feelings so that they can eventually guide me to a place of healing and safety. Remembering that healing is a process. There are 7 stages of grief that we all naturally go through, not necessarily in the same order, but being able to find peace and solitude during that grief. Honor yourself. Honor yourself by allowing yourself time to heal. All right, let's get a chakra wisdom affirmation. Honoring yourself, your body, your spirit for everything that you've been through. All the different storms that you've overcome in your life. Self-sufficiency and sensuality. First and second chakra, base chakra, and sacral chakra. Self-sufficiency is what was on top. By finding material security without being materialistic, I will gain satisfaction, stability, and inner strength. I am resourceful. I put in the effort to be responsible for supplying fundamental needs in my life, such as shelter, food, water, and clothing. I take responsibility for where I now find myself in life as I move forward. I get in touch with and trust my innate wisdom, which tells me that I will be provided with all I need. And then sensuality. I encourage myself to express my sensuality and emotions creatively, using all my faculties, including touch, voice, and action, and creative abilities such as art, craft, music, acting, cooking, gardening, and writing. I practice being aware of and enjoying my senses, being nourished and stimulated by the natural world, such as by landscapes, people, weather, animals, aromas, and sound. So, taking accountability for your needs and also embracing the creative ways that maybe you can get that accomplished, whether that's spiritual needs, physical needs, emotional needs, financial needs. Finding the joy in the aspects of those things that, you kind of have to do. Being grateful for those opportunities, the attitude of gratitude goes a long way. We talk about that a lot. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. I wish I could have it turned open to both pages at the same time, because both of them are different on the cards than they are in scripture. But give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongues is the law of kindness. That's way too many. That's Proverbs 31, verse 31, and then verse 26. Change. Service on the bottom of the deck. Confidence on the top of the deck. Have confidence in the services that you offer, or in the services, the changes that will bring. Change is what actually came out. Don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. All you need is that one next action. You can say to love, just show me the first step and change me into the one who can take it. Service. You stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. Service, going back to the scripture. Give her the fruit of her hands. Service, working with your hands. And let her own works praise her in the gates. Confidence. Divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence, O love. Grant me the courage I never knew I had. So not just confidence, but courage, bravery. Having the confidence and the courage to embrace change, to be the change through acts of service. I say it every day. Doing something good for somebody else, you have no idea how that might impact their life, and you don't know how it might impact your life. You know, through doing that act of service, whatever it is, you could encounter other people. It could open up the door to unlimited possibilities. I'm just saying. You just never know how the universe can work through other people and through um, unexpected situations. All right, let's get from the pull from the affirmators deck. Yesterday we saw strength, gentleness on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Gentleness, kindness, understanding, sympathy, empathy, not only with yourself but with others. You know, when you catch yourself getting frustrated or upset about something, just practice, just stop and pause for like 5 or 10 seconds and try to put yourself in that person's shoes. A lot of times that'll bring it down real quick. All right, self-help without all the self-helpiness. No judgment. That confidence on the bottom of the deck, double confirmation on the confidence, divine timing on the top of the deck. No judgment. Indeed, this is a judgment-free zone. Life should be that way. Unfortunately, it's not, but I release myself from any and all judgments. I find my inner critic, call it into my office, and tell it to take a vacation. As it leaves the room, I let out a sigh and begin to enjoy the joy of simply being. Who hired that guy anyways? This actually came up for me last night. I say it often that we are our own worst critic, but I need to start using my words better. And instead of saying that, we are our best cheerleader. You, yourself, and I will be the best cheerleader you ever have. So instead of being a critic, be a cheerleader for your own life. All right. We're not going to read these other two, but very nice that we got a confirmation on the confidence and then the divine timing. Everything is timing, and timing is everything. Being patient with yourself, being patient with other people, being patient with the universe. I learned a long time ago to stop praying for patience, because when you pray for patience, your patience is tested. When you pray for strength, your strength is tested. Yeah. So be mindful of the words you use and the prayers you pray, the wishes you make, however you want to say it. Just be careful what you ask for. All right, angels of abundance. That's way too many. Conscious consumer. Clearing debts on the bottom of the deck. And take a divinely guided chance on the top of the deck. Once again, very much lining up with service and change. Take a chance on somebody. Take a chance on yourself. Step out in faith and be brave. Have courage. Do it scared, so they say. All right, conscious consumer. You have the power to heal and help the world with your decision to buy only products and services that are ethical and environmentally friendly. As a conscious consumer, you choose to invest in fair trade and organic goods. Hopper. You live simply and you purchase only that which you need. You could take that as a confirmation of sorts. He rarely barks like that. Being aware of the products that you're buying, where you're buying them from, and the quality. You know, instead of buying from big chain stores, buy from family owned and operated companies. Be a conscious consumer, clear debts, and take a divinely guided chance. Clearing debt is always a good thing. I made my last loan payment yesterday. So that was a mountain moved for me. That was a debt cleared. That was actually the only debt I had. So, yay. Kudos to anybody else who's working on clearing debts. Whether those debts are financial, spiritual, you know, whatever. There's all different kinds of debt. All right, let's get an angel number. Yesterday we got 1515, self-care. We've got 99, rebirth, on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Being aware of the works, of your service, of what you do with your hands. Knowing that, you know, we all have to answer to or answer for, you know, the things that we've done, be them good or bad. All right. Give her of the fruit of her hands. So basically give her whatever she's given out. Reciprocation. 404, mind energy. Focus, determination, preparation, mental strength, clarity, resolve, and future readiness. Prepare your mind for future challenges. Mental strength and focus will help you overcome obstacles with determination and hard work. What mental habits do I need to strengthen in order to fully prepare for future challenges? Set aside time each day for mindfulness or mental exercises that can improve your focus and clarity. Visualize yourself successfully overcoming future obstacles. We got 7, soul purpose, on the bottom of the deck. And 3, 4, 5, personal power, on the top of the deck. We'll pull from the mindfulness deck today. It does speak of mindfulness. So, you know, being aware of your energy, of the energy that you're surrounding yourself with. The world is made a better place, one person and cause at a time. With compassion and love, begin with yourself. That's the one that was stuck in the box. All right, this is the, hold on so I can give you the right name. When You Feel Bad Mindfulness deck. All these decks can be found on Amazon. All right, let's get some mindfulness energy for the day. Just one, please. That's not just one. embracing change. It's still not just one. You don't need to solve everything. Sometimes time does its trick and life does its part. Trust in life. True friendship is to quickly listen, encourage, support, and raise hope. If you can do that for your friend, you can do that for yourself too. Take a small, peaceful moment for yourself. Bring to mind someone important to you. Imagine them in front of you. They look at you in the eyes and tell you they are having a hard time. What would you say to console them? Then say those same consoling words to yourself. Repeat when needed or write down the words to keep as a reminder for yourself. So showing yourself the love and kindness that you show to others. Finding the calm within your storm. You know, we talk about that a lot, not relying on other people to comfort you or to make you feel better, being able to provide that for yourself. All right, let's pull a Forest Spirit Oracle. I gotta see if this song on the radio is what I think it is. I don't think it is, but no. I thought this was Jars of Clay, but it's not. Okay. I don't know if people really still listen to Jars of Clay very much anymore, but every time I hear them, I think of my dad. All right. Maybe that was my dad saying hi, because this is not the song that I was hearing in my head. Unicorn Spirit, Wishcraft. Using your imagination as you wield your own magic and make your dreams come true. Very much lining up with the second chakra, sensuality, where it spoke of creativity, art, and crafting. Take a divinely guided chance, you know, maybe taking something in a new direction, more crafty, more artsy. You got Bat Spirit on the bottom of the deck, Superpower Miracle, Soul Traveler, search for unknown powers that will bring you good luck. And then Hedgehog Spirit on the top of the deck, Boundaries. Nurture and protect your unique qualities and guard yourself against negativity. The little hedgehog in that picture is so cute. Look at it. I've seen videos online of people that have hedgehogs as pets. They're super cute. Okay. Let's see if we can get one from the Believe in Your Magic. Believe in Your Own Magic. The last couple times we've tried to pull from it, it didn't want to give us anything. So we'll try today. You know, one form of self-care and self-love and one act of confidence and bravery is to have boundaries. But also going back to the being your own cheerleader. Instead of being your own critic, be your own cheerleader. Maybe embracing a new level of confidence. Taking a divinely guided chance on yourself. on a craft, on an art, on a creation. All right. Believe in your own magic. Shark, swim away from this situation. Number 35. Okay. Clover, number 21. Release your guilt on the bottom of the deck. And wings, number 8. You never needed those wings to fly. I think it was in yesterday's video where on our mantra card, the dog looked like it was flying, and I said, fly high, little one. Letting your inner child fly high, like where it comes to being creative and, you know, embracing that part of you, allowing time for that to happen. Let's see what these say. Shark, swim away from the situation. Think of this as the Lover's reverse. Oh, okay. You've been hanging around a bloodthirsty shark and they've hurt you before. This could refer to a lover, or it could refer to another loved one, such as a friend or family member. To put it simply, you deserve better treatment and you're never going to find it with them. Leave now. Situations like this often grow so dire that you no longer feel safe swimming away. So, you know, we have been getting that Dory just keeps swimming. That's come up several times. And remember, this doesn't have to be a love situation. This could be a work situation. It could be a friend situation, a community situation. You know, maybe something that you've already seen some red flags and you're choosing to ignore them, when in reality, you need to accept things for how they are. Because the longer you stay, the harder it is going to be for you to walk away. That doesn't matter what kind of situation it is. It doesn't have to be love. A friend, a family member, a coworker, a job, a community of some kind. Don't be a people pleaser unless you're pleasing yourself, right? Okay, let's see. 21, release your guilt. Clover. You've been carrying the burden of guilt on your shoulders for far too long. It's now negatively impacting all facets of your life and making it impossible to function. You've come to a crossroads where you need to choose a direction. Go ahead and make your reparations or release yourself from the cage you've built around yourself. Hint, sometimes the first road leads back around to the second. What does that mean? Hint, sometimes the first road leads back around to the second. You've come to a crossroad where you need to choose a direction. Go ahead and make your reparations or release yourself from the cage you've built around yourself. Hint, sometimes the first road leads back around to the second. I don't get it. Maybe it'll come to me later. All right. And then number 8, wings. You never needed those wings to fly. It seems like you're stuck in a never ending cycle of self doubt and self criticism. When you tell yourself you can't do whatever you've set your mind to, that's what we refer to as negative self talk. And it's extremely toxic. Just as we expect others to treat us with kindness, we also need to treat ourselves with kindness. A bird cannot fly away if you never let it out of its cage. Wow. The clover talked about the cage. Okay. And that also goes back to the no judgment, the being your own cheerleader, the self sufficiency, mind energy, especially. Ooh, it sounds like it's raining again. Pretty heavy, it sounds like. Of course, it's a rainy day on my day off, but that's okay. That'll just force me to stay at home and get some stuff done. I hope everybody else is having a peaceful, positive start to your day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that today. I also pray that He clothes you in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. Let's pull a couple from the Wandering Heart Oracle. It's been a while since we've done a deeper video. We've got Reclaim Your Power on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Swim away from this situation. Release your guilt. You never needed those wings to fly. 2 out of 3 of those cards referencing a cage. All right, Wandering Heart Oracle. Balance wanted to show itself. Look at that. I can't make it up. Boundaries and autopilot. Double confirmation on the boundaries. So remember, we had double confirmation on the confidence. We got double confirmation on the boundaries. We basically got double confirmation on the crafting, on the change, the trying something new, also the acts of service. The responsibility is yours to look out for you. Very much lining up with the self-sufficiency, the first chakra, base chakra. Suspicion and immunity. This is an affirmation. I will secure my bliss by any means necessary. I will distance myself from people who have too many expectations of me. I will do the hard work to protect my energy. I will not allow people to walk in and out of my life. I will not allow people to micromanage my decisions and label me insufficient. I will not tolerate nitpicking or bullying of any sort. I will find my way out of both dramatic and hurtful relationships. I will practice saying no as often as I need to. I will take my time. I will not apologize for listening to my intuition. I will share the godly parts of myself with those who are deserving. And then 9, autopilot. Find beauty in the present. abstraction, and detachment. Here you are deeply centered, unconcerned, and unprovoked with the world around you. There is no need to blink out of this state of being. Your energy is neutral, neither welcoming nor standoffish. To some degree, you are stuck, and to another, you are liberated. This is your homecoming. Let's see. Pleasurable fortune greets you at the door. Anxiety has no status nor blessings here. Life is abundant because you have claimed it to be, and so it shall be. There is no desire to adjust the past nor govern the future. The diligence that you possess and the empathy you hold for others speaks for itself. You have no apprehension moving forward. Your confidence is steadfast and moving through the world declaring love and cheer, knowing that your efforts will manifest tenfold. Wow. Once again, referencing the confidence, being at peace, embracing the peace, embracing yourself. Very nice. Let's see. Let's do an herbal astrology oracle. It's been a while. I'm not going to do a full pull, but we're already at 42 minutes, so. Last time we pulled from this deck, we got 44 Valerian. Acceptance. This is the Herbal Astrology Pocket Oracle by Andrea Ayales, Ayales. All right, Herbal Astrology Oracle. I've learned a lot from this little deck. Nice, calendula. I don't think we've seen that before, or maybe we have, but I just recently got some. I started me a calendula castor oil tincture. This looks like a child in a field of calendula with a swing. The child is naked. It looks like there's a bird in the picture. And there's like a little door right there. There's like light coming out, emitting from the door. Sorry, I got to keep the little boy or child covered up. Nice. Let's see. We got Kaka Foresight. 36 on the bottom of the deck. She's naked too. And then you've got Chamomile, number 9, Inner Peace on the top of the deck. All right. Calendula, which is number 1, Purity. Okay. Innocence, childlike joy, humility, purity, new beginnings, trusting in life, and vitality. Astrological ruler, the sun. All right, I'm going to put this down. That way I think this is far enough away to where it won't matter. Okay. Historically, calendula was known as poor man's saffron. as it was used to add color and flavor to foods in place of more expensive spice. Calendula petals are also added to salads and used as a dye for fabric and hair. From infusions to extracts to ointments, folk medicine healers in Europe prepared a wide array of healing remedies and foods with calendula. Its petals were used to induce menstrual flow, produce sweat during fevers, and cure jaundice. 19th century physicians used calendula to treat viruses, stomach ulcers, liver issues, and skin infections. Traditionally, because of its astringent and anti inflammatory powers, it was also used externally to treat burns, bruises, and wounds and to help stop bleeding. The guidance. Calendula resembles the sun, a radiant, bright yellow or orange flower. It grows easily and spreads its joyful self across gardens, symbolizing the gesture of universal abundance. Solar herbs are those that neutralize poison and air in the recuperation of vital forces. Calendula's gentle and abundant power reminds us of the realms of light. To be allowed entry within these angelic realms requires childlike innocence and humility. Do not allow pain from the past to disable your ability to dream a new life. Calendula represents the pure impulse to create, vitality, and creativity needed to step into our new journey. The radiance of calendula is a superconductor. Be very aware and selective with your intentions when using her energy within a ritual, as she greatly amplifies your intentions. Wow. Okay, so let's go back. Solar herbs are those that neutralize poison and air in the recuperation of vital forces. So they're very good for your garden. I already knew they had a lot of health benefits, but I never thought about adding it to a salad. I'll have to try that as well. It hasn't been that long since I ordered the calendula. I've used it in my tea a few times, and I've got a tincture slowly soaking, but I'll have to try it in some salad. All right, so purity. Love of a child. Love like a child. Innocence. Getting back to that. Having boundaries so that you can embrace your inner child. Going back to the chakra affirmation. Sensuality. I practice being aware of and enjoying my senses by nourished and senses being... Stop. Let me stop. Hold on. I encourage myself to express my sensuality and emotions creatively, using all my faculties, including touch, voice, and actions, and creative abilities such as art, craft, music, acting, cooking, gardening, and writing. Embracing those parts of yourself. Use your imagination as you wield your own magic and make your dreams come true. Give her of the fruit of her hands and let her own works praise her in the gates. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.